Welcome to USA Global TV and Radio, where our mission is to provide education, entertainment, hope, and inspiration. USA Global TV and Radio connects you with experts and audiences all around the world every single day to help you succeed in business and to live a richer life. Visit us at usaglobaltv.com to learn about career and life-changing training and mentoring programs like the Listening Mentor. Subscribe to our newsletter to stay informed about our special programs and offers. Discover how you can become a guest on one of our shows or a host or producer of a USA Global TV and Radio show of your very own. That's USA Global TV and Radio, where the doctor is always in.
Good evening, good morning, good afternoon, happy Friday, happy Saturday, wherever you are in the world. This is USA Global TV and Radio, where we provide world-class education, entertainment, hope, and inspiration. I am Dr. Jacalyn Kerbeck, and it is my pleasure to welcome you to our program tonight, which is the BEFIT Project. Our topic is, who is writing your story? We're going to find out. I want to welcome the star of our show. I am so grateful that I met this man, Coach B. He goes by, his name is really Brandon Eckel, but don't tell him that I told you. And he is somebody who has incredible passion, drive, determination, and commitment. I am thinking he might have just been in that first video that we saw with the guy on the rings with commitment. I don't know. I'm going to ask him. He's a health and wellness coach. He's a business owner, founder, and CEO of Distinctly Extraordinary Coaching, as well as so many other things. And it's an absolute pleasure to have him here. He is the brainchild behind this 21-day transformation right here today at this BEFIT Project. Let's welcome Coach B to the show. Hello. Ooh, yeah, rock and roll.
Hey, happy Friday for you cool cats. And maybe it's already Saturday for y'all. But it's an honor and a pleasure to be here with you. My name's Coach B. So that's BE. That stands for Brandon Eckel, the BEFIT Project. It's the Brandon Eckel Fitness Project. But hey, guys, it's not about me. It's all about you guys. And what I love about all things health and wellness is you meet cool freaking people like Dr. Jacalyn. And you never know who those cool people that you will meet along the way. But guys, tonight's story is going to be about who is writing your story. Who's writing your story? Who is holding the pen of your life? because we live in a fast-paced world, my friends, and that fast-paced world is kind of wrapped up with, you've kind of got to fit in with this identity or that identity. But I'm just going to go against the grain, my friends. We're going to swim upstream and say, how about we choose to identify with who we are on the inside, on the outside, and just say, you know what, we're just a little bit wired differently. We don't fit the mold. Dr. Jacalyn, thank you so much for an awesome intro. But you guys know, here on USA Global TV, y'all know who the real rock star is. It's not me. It's Dr. Jacalyn.
Thank you so much. You know, I work diligently, so I am behind the scenes. I love producing shows. I don't host as many as I used to, but I am thrilled to host this show with you. And I want to just share a very quick story. By the way, was that you in the video? Were you on the rings pulling yourself up there?
You do have permission to use my content. I'm honored to be in your show. Absolutely honored.
Thank you. Thank you. So here's what I want to share.
Are very hard to do, though. I will say this.
I'm not even trying them. I remember when I was in school and you had to climb the rope. No, and you had to do those shuttle runs. Not my thing. But I do love all things fitness, but please don't ask me to climb the rope. Okay. Anyway, here's what I want to share with you. As you know, in addition to what I do here, I'm also a fitness instructor. And recently I had someone come in class, and it was the first time this person was going to be doing this class. And the person was really overwhelmed and afraid. And she started putting herself down. You know, I'm not this, I'm not that. I haven't done this, I haven't done that. And I said, first of all, it's okay. Let's talk about what you are doing. Let's talk about the fact that you came here, you drove in your car and you came here to do something and make a difference. And by the end of the class, she was literally in tears, tears of joy. Why do I share this story? Because it's hard to break the patterns that we are stuck in. But when we put ourselves out there and do something tremendous, wonderful things can happen. Coach B, what say you on this topic?
Well, this is one of the beautiful things that I see each and every day as I work with numerous people around the world. So far, we've already helped over 60,000 people. And when you work with that amount of people, you kind of see the good, bad, the ugly, the best, the worst. And what Dr. Jacalyn just shared is, it happens so many times. So the first topic that I want to touch on tonight is knowing and understanding the importance of knowing how to love yourself and knowing and understanding what your self-worth is. And I start with that because I met a young lady last week while I was speaking at a mastermind. This was a particularly mastermind that was geared for high-level earners and high-level thinkers. But no matter where we are in life, guys, just like Dr. Jacalyn shared, this young lady may have been way outside of her comfort zone. But sometimes, guys, we got to do the hard thing. Doing the hard thing is very difficult, but when you do it, the relief that you're going to feel on the back end, you can't put to words. And that's how she cried. But these were tears of joy. These were victory tears. No longer were they tears of fear. And I love it. I love it.
I love it too. So thank you so much for being here. And we're here today to encourage people to put a question out there. Who's writing your story? Are you holding the pen? I love how you shared that, Coach B. We've got an incredible person backstage, which I can't wait to bring out TASHA and hear TASHA's story. And what I really want to encourage people is to think about what you have, what you can give thanks for instead of all the things that you think you don't have. One thing that I just decided to let go of as of a couple of days ago, and I told you this before, I'm tired of hating myself. I'm tired of hating myself. I'm tired of saying I'm not good enough. And I said to myself, that's it. I'm not doing that anymore. It's all positive, constructive talk. It's thoughts that are positive, surrounding myself with people who are positive, like you, Coach B, and like TASHA. So tell us about the reason you invited TASHA here today, because I think that's really important. You could have invited anybody in the world. You invited TASHA to be our first guest on the BEFIT project.
Well, guys, I want you to meet an incredible young lady who has the most powerful story that I've ever heard. You know, some of it was shared in a personal setting, but the story that she shared is what prompted tonight's show. Who is writing your story? The particular young lady that we're about to bring on and introduce to you guys shared a story that brought me to tears. But it was a story of overcoming a tremendous amount of adversity that happened over years and years and years of people and a world that told her, you are this and you are that, and I wish you were this and I wished you looked like that. But after hearing that story and sharing numerous calls back and forth, she just shared with me something I want her to share, because she brought up swallowing the frog. And I'm like, oh my, what do you mean by swallowing the frog? And it all stemmed to doing the hard thing, even though there might be consequences, even though there may be a little bit of backlash. But this young lady, her name is TASHA SKOUSEN. This young lady is a young lady who says, I am going to take the pen back, and I'm going to now write my own story. Ladies and gentlemen, friends and family, no matter where you are in the world, Dr. Jacalyn, if you would, do us the honor and the flavor.
Let's welcome TASHA to the show. TASHA is a serial entrepreneur, public speaker, networker extraordinaire, board member, mother of 5, and so much more. Welcome. Hello.
Hi, guys. Thank you so much for having me on today.
It's an absolute pleasure. I am so interested to hear the backstory, but I just want to say that your being here today is so amazing and engaging, because you are here uplifting, sharing your story you're about to, which takes a certain amount of courage and bravery to be transparent and in resulting to help others. So TASHA, tell us about your journey as an entrepreneur, and then we're going to start to peel back the layers. You currently have 4 businesses, is that correct?
I do, yes.
Tell us a little bit about them, because they're from one extreme to the other.
They are. Thank you. First of all, I just want to thank you guys so much for the incredible introduction. I absolutely love both of you, and Coach B has just been so incredible to me. So thank you both very much. I'm honored to be on here today to share a little bit about myself and about my businesses. So I actually started my own business. It's a janitorial business back in 2019. I started it as a means to take care of my family. And that has grown into over 20 employees. We now get to provide jobs for women and men who were in my situation. And so that brings me such great joy. But I've also got a wellness program with Coach B that I'm really excited about. I'm excited to change lives and help women feel good in their skin and just feel good about who they are. So I'm very passionate about that. And I also own a coaching business, and I own a wealth business as well.
Health and wealth. I love it. How that goes together. Just rolls off the tongue. Thank you so much for sharing that.
Thank you.
Coach B, you and TASHA are now working together. What's that experience been like?
So guys, I just got to brag. For those of you listening, you're not going to be able to see what I'm about to share. But holy moly, humble brag moment for those of you who can watch, check it. Holy moly.
Woo! Woo!
Top
Love
30.
it.
For those of you listening, guys, top 30 womenpreneurs in Arizona, but not top 30. She's number 1.
Yes. Congratulations. By the way, I love that power pose of you standing there. It's just fantastic.
Thank you. I appreciate that.
For those of you listening, for those of you watching, I am passionate about helping and serving. Just like I've partnered with Dr. Jacalyn, it is my mission with the time that God has given me on this planet to transform 10 million lives through technology, holistic health, and partnerships. The only way that will happen is with Dr. Jacalyn, with TASHA, and those of you that are listening and those of you who are watching. The only way we can truly make a difference in this world is to lift one another up, help and serve to the greatest possible expressed interest, serve to the greatest possible extent of being a blessing in this world. So guys, there's a couple testimonials that we're going to share about what it would look like if you were to work with Dr. Jacalyn or TASHA or myself. I mean, we're talking lives completely transformed, futures altered, legacies created, bondages broke, all because we came together as a united body of believers, standing on, we are beautiful exactly the way we are. We are loved by more than you'll ever know and understand. And we can do hard things as long as we've got a support group. If you don't have a tribe, my friends, I would be honored to have you join Dr. Jacalyn and myself, TASHA and myself. We will be your tribe.
Well said. Thank you so much, Coach B. TASHA, I want to go back to you. I found with my own life that you have some kind of adversity, and in some cases, it breaks people. They don't come back from it. In other people, they find a way. They look for the solutions. They take the noise and go, no, I'm not listening to you. Where do I find the solution? And I know you're one of those people. So would you like to share with us something that you've overcome that sort of catapulted you to where you are today?
I'd love to share. I personally think that if you've been through something, it's your job to turn around and help someone else through it. So my story is here simply to help other people. So it started from a very young age. There was a point where I was a freshman in high school and my mother just left. She was horribly addicted to drugs. And for most of my life, I was the one that took care of my sister, who is just 3.5 years younger than me. And when she left, she never came back. And so I had to figure out a way to take care of my sister. And, you know, being young, that I couldn't get a job, I could only go babysit or do little things. I was able to provide food for us, but soon, you know, the water turned off. And so we would lather up with soap and we'd go run through the neighbor's sprinklers just to be able to take a shower in the morning. And I'd try to make it fun and we'd jump and see who could jump the highest. And then the lights turned off and we had to sit by candlelight and eat dinner. And I would say, it's just romantic, and try and make light of it. And then we were evicted from our home. And I remember packing up my sister's things and going into my room and putting whatever I could of my life into this little backpack. And I walked my sister to her friend's house, and it was the longest, heaviest walk I've ever taken in my life. And I was able to get her to stay with her friend. And I told them I would help support her and if they could just let her stay there. And I spent the next year being homeless and bouncing around different homes, trying to stay at different friends' houses so that nobody noticed, and going to school and taking a shower and getting ready and pretending like everything was okay. So at a very young age, I learned that I had to be an advocate for myself, and I had to learn to take care of myself. And that led to eventually me adopting my sister when I turned 18 so she could come live with me. And she would make bad choices, and I would tell her, and it's become a theme of my life, that you can use what's happened to you as an excuse not to succeed or as a reason to propel you forward. And I feel like that set the stage for my life and how I look at things and how I approach things. I soon after got married and was married for 18 years. And unfortunately, due to other people's choices, my marriage ended. And so I found myself again trying to take care of little ones. And having been a stay-at-home mom for 12 years, I went ahead and finished my education. I got my bachelor's degree in business management. I was the valedictorian of my class. And I started this business, Olive Cleaning Co. And it has been such a blessing. And I have learned so many things along the way. But most importantly, I have learned that when I turn outwards, when I focus on someone else's success, it always comes back to me. And so I'm grateful for my story. I'm grateful for everything that happened, because I wouldn't be the person I am today. And I certainly wouldn't be able to handle the trials I've experienced without them.
I am so moved by your story. Thank you for sharing that. It was like one thing after another, and there were major things of abandonment, and then you having to take responsibility and find ways to put food on the table, as well as many other things. What is it that kept you going? Whereas someone else, and we can't speak for other people, right? We can't get into the heads of others, but what was it that you had inside of you that you just kept going and still are going today?
Well, for me in the beginning, it was definitely my sister. I looked at her little face and I didn't focus on me. I focused on her, and I knew that she needed me and she needed me to be strong. And then when it came to my divorce, again, it was me focusing on my children. It was me focusing on my employees. I have all these wonderful people that dedicate their lives to building this business and serving those that we serve. And so I've really always just tried to turn outwards, because inwards, nothing good happens. It's a pity party. And don't get me wrong, I've allowed myself to feel it, but I don't unpack and live there. And so it's been very important to me to just focus on others. And that's always helped me through.
Brilliant. Thank you. I have one more question before I turn it over to Coach B, because I feel like this is really important. As a woman, you have multiple businesses, 5 children. You are out there. You're doing something with Coach B. You're here today. I've heard myself over the years, what do you think you're doing? You're doing this and you're doing that, and you're doing this and you're doing that. And if I was a man, it'd be like, no big deal. But because I'm a woman, so I'm wondering, have you heard the same thing? And again, this is to help us teach lessons to the audience, to provide education. Have you heard that in your life, and what's your reaction?
I have heard it. That's come from inside and outside. I never like speaking ill of anyone, but in my past relationship, it was a constant berate of not being enough, or not being exactly what he thought I should be. And that was always hard, because it set the stage for, I want this person to be happy. And therefore I couldn't find happiness within myself, because I was constantly being told I wasn't enough. And then, yes, I mean, of course, there's this wonderful imposter syndrome that I think we all have, right? Maybe a little, but there's another part of me that knows the only person that is going to hold me back is myself. And the only person that is going to make it happen is myself. And so I have to tell that lady in my head that sometimes doesn't have the nicest things to say, hey, you don't get a voice here. And we're going to just focus on the positive and think about what's the best that can happen.
Thank you so much for your transparency. I really appreciate it. And I think one of the key takeaways that I have from what you just said is, when we hear that voice that comes up, you're not, you shouldn't, you can't, you're worthless, you're a loser, you're a zero. We just have to say, not today, not now. I am not listening to you. What was your comment that you made about you're not unpacking and doing something else?
So, I mean, I think it's important that we feel things as we're going through it. But, and it was something I always just tell my sister, you can feel what you're feeling. It's important, but you're not going to unpack it and live in it. We need to move on because there's no growth that's going to happen by just sitting in our problems.
That's it. Unpack it and live in it. Fantastic expression. I've never heard it before. Thank you. Coach B, I am just completely psyched about the fact that you have brought TASHA to our platform. I am really so in awe of everything that you've overcome and the fact that you're putting your heart out there and helping others. So when you think, Coach B, about these relationships, these partnerships, how and why should people out there right now watching or maybe watching or listening in the future, how or why should they get engaged in a transformation, and what is the purpose of a transformation?
Guys, I'm going to start off with, I told y'all I cried when I heard this story. But the crazy thing is, you never know who you're going to meet in life and how many similarities that you have. How many things you're like, wow, I thought I was the only one on this planet who struggled with this. And when you find out that you're not the only one that struggled in something that you would be like, there's no way that there's anyone else like me, that you find out that we've all gone through very, very difficult and troubling times. But the one similarity, my friends, that all three of us that we are on this call tonight have in common is we was intentional with our thought processes, and we was intentional with how we was going to handle certain things. We didn't allow ourselves to live in it. And we used that negative energy to fuel us in a positive way. And that's where our transformation challenge comes in. We can allow the negativity of this world, we can allow the energy vampires of this world to suck the life out of us, or we can use that. And we can use that to fuel us and drive us to becoming a better version of ourselves, to take those hardships and use them as a tool, to use those hardships as a piece of our testimony, as a part of our story, so that when we encounter others in this life, when we share our story, it's going to help them feel encouraged. They're not the only one going through this. They're not the first person to ever come to spin class super terrified and nervous and not knowing what to do and where to go and how to set the bike seat and what do these knobs and levers do. That we're there to lift them up, encourage them. And I want to share with you, my friends, that's exactly what our 21-day transformation challenge does. You're going to be a part of a community that says, woo, woo, ah, you are Rockstar. Let's do this. I've never done it before. I don't know what I'm doing. That's okay, boss. Because you know what? There was a day and time in my life I'd never done it before either. But there was someone like me to take care of me. And now I am here to take care of you. And we're going to go do this thing together.
Woohoo! I love it. Fantastic. So here's what I want us to talk about next, because I know there are people out there right now going, I don't know. I don't really want to change. I just want to be changed. I just want to go, ooh, magic wand, let everything change. Now, how do we take someone who's watching and inspire them to the point where they want to make a change? I mean, TASHA, you're sharing your story. I've shared my story before. Coach B, you've shared your story. All three of us have been and continue to go through various things in our life, whether they're health related or financial, or we could go on and on about what they could be. But yet we keep moving forward, even though there are people out there throwing tiny little pebbles, sometimes some huge boulders. I'm like, whoa, where did you get that one from? What say you, TASHA, to people out there who are thinking, I'd kind of like to do some kind of transformation, but I don't know. This summer's coming here in the States. Might not be a great time. It's all about perspective. What is your perspective on this?
I love that you talked about perspective, because life is all about perspective, right? We can look at it as a positive, or we can look at it as a negative. I look at meeting Coach B as a positive. He looked at me and he saw me. And when we started talking about his 21-day challenge, I knew it was right for me. I know as a business owner, I hired a business coach. It's important because we need someone, one, to hold us accountable, and two, someone who's outside of our situation to look in, because they have an easier time seeing where those little tweaks are that we can make. And sometimes it really is just a little tweak. I told Coach B about how I was eating and how I was working and not sleeping. And his approach is so amazing. He's like, we're not going to change everything. He doesn't want to change everything. He wants to make little tweaks because he's able to see it from an outside perspective. And I am so excited to do this 21-day challenge. I can do anything for 21 days. You can do anything for 21 days. And I'm excited to take control of that voice inside my head that sometimes tells me I'm not enough. I think this is going to be a wonderful start to telling her, hey, I'm in charge here.
I love the empowerment. All right. Now I want to play devil's advocate, because this is what happens. We make a decision that we're going to do something, and then somebody in our life is threatened by it for whatever reason. And instead of being supportive, they kind of just chip away. And I know with me, when I'm committed to something, I'm really committed, but I can have the rug pulled out from underneath me when somebody out of nowhere starts really dissecting my life. And I just had somebody do this to me recently. You're doing too much, something bad's going to happen to you. I'm thinking, well, maybe something bad is going to, then all of a sudden you start thinking, am I doing the right thing? So it's, in addition to having a support system and a community, when we have the naysayers who are out there, how do we just, not the ones in here, but out here, how do we just make them go away?
Well, I think, so I have a lot of, I call them crabs in my life, because what happens if you put a bunch of crabs in a bucket? They are going, and when one starts to finally reach the top, the other ones are going to pull it down. It's human nature. It's human nature for someone to look at what you're doing, and if they're not doing the same things, to have a negative opinion about it. But that's why I also think everyone has crabs in their life, the people that want to pull them down. But that's another reason why people like Coach B are so important to have in your life, because he's there to give you that positive, uplifting message that you need to hear. He's there to pull you out of that bucket, because you also have to take inventory of, okay, the person that is saying this to me, I love them, or whatever the situation is, but are they in a position that I would want to be in? Are they completely perfectly healthy? Is their diet completely perfect? And chances are they're not usually going to be where you want to be. So surrounding yourself with people that are like you want to be, and people that are positive, it's so very important, the company we keep.
Woo-hoo! And we have to be realistic too. Sometimes when we make this transformation, people may no longer be in our life. Maybe we outgrow them. Maybe they served their time and their purpose. Maybe we served our time and purpose in their life. So I know, Tasha, you've been through a lot of change yourself. And again, I really appreciate you sharing your story and being so open and honest. Coach B, what I'd like to know from you is, if people right now want to do the transformation, how do they get involved?
Awesome freaking question. Awesome question. So guys, it is a pretty simple process to get involved with our 21-day transformation challenge. You're just simply going to go to our website, teambextra.com. That's pretty much it. We really make this super simple to get started. So when you go to our website, www. For those listening, TEAM, team, B, that's BE. Maybe there's a little bit of Brandon Eckel in that, but Team Be Extra, EXTRA.com. TeamBeExtra.com. When you get there, what's going to happen is it's just going to be a form. Your first name, last name, email address, phone number, and who sent you there. How did you find us? There's a list of about 48 coaches. Our team's rather large, but we want to make sure that you're taken care of. And all that form does is let us know that you are interested in being a part of our 21-day transformation program. From there, what is going to happen is I am going to personally reach out to you, and then your coach is going to reach out to you, and we're going to make sure that we understand exactly what it is that you need to be successful. Now, I will say, guys, that is not a picture of me. We know who this young lady is, but that's not me on the before and afters. But I will, before we end today, I will show you a before and after and give you her video testimonial. Because it's one thing to hear from Coach B, but it's another to hear from actual contestants who go through the 21-day transformation. We're just going to put it out there. I'm going to ask for 21 days because Tasha said, I can do anything for 21 days, and so can you. If you're willing to dedicate 21 days to your health, it's very possible, my friends, that you can be one of our winners. Dr. Jacalyn and I, Miss Tasha and I, we're going to coach you to be one of those winners because there's $10,000 up for grabs, my friends.
Woo! Wow, I love it. So for those on the audio only audience, we are showing right now the website, which is teambextra.com. So it's TEAMBEEXTRA.com. So you've got those two E's in there. Go there, fill out the form. For those of you who are watching live, do this, okay? Do it. Go there now. It doesn't hurt. Take a look, fill out the information, and we'll get back to you. If you don't, you're going to be asking yourself later at some point, why didn't I sign up for that 21-day challenge? I've got that support structure there. I can be changing my life in so many ways, living healthier, having a better presence of mind, having a different perspective. If you don't do it, okay, status quo, you know what you've got. Go over there to the website and look at the form, fill it out. Coach, you've got something you want to share with us, right? You're going to show us something?
I would love to, instead of you guys who are watching and listening, instead of hearing it from us, I'd rather you hear it from someone else. So without further ado, my friends, how about we roll a testimonial clip?
Hi, I'm Celeste, and I was a Challenger winner. And I just want to give a big shout out to my coach, Lenny. She was amazing and very supportive throughout the whole process. And it was just great having that support, not only from her, but from the team that she's created. She has a bunch of girls that are also working out together, and it really is this place where if I'm having struggles or, you know, maybe I didn't hit my meals that day, I know I can vent and they'll keep cheering me on. So that's amazing, that group that she's created. And then working out with her is also a great motivator because it's a bunch of like-minded women that are just excited to be healthy and be better versions of themselves. On top of that, whenever I would miss a workout with her or couldn't make it to one of her workouts, she would direct me to the app, which was also great because I had, and that was also a great tool to have. Then there's also the bigger chat group where I would just go in and see everybody else doing the same things I am, doing their snacks, their shakes, their teas. And it's just great to see that there's this big community that's also on the same, you know, plan that you're doing, and everybody's really supportive and great. So I am excited to keep going. I know that I'm not where I want to be, but this is a great step towards that. And I'm really excited for the next months and really creating a lifestyle change that'll last and just keep feeling better. I feel great about myself after this first challenge, and I love seeing my results. I know that very first picture I was really annoyed. I was like, I look terrible, but seeing the after picture was just so motivating for myself, and it just really makes me want to keep working harder. And thank you to everybody else who has just been so supportive throughout the whole process. And thanks, Lenny. Bye.
So my friends, she mentioned she didn't like what she's seen in her before picture. And she wasn't happy with where she was with her after picture, but she knew that that was forward progress. So I want to caveat before I show what her before and after pictures look like. For those of you hearing that, I don't want you to be turned off or turned away because of the pictures. If you are an individual who wants to be a part of the challenge, you can do it and not take before and after pictures. But if you're an individual who wants to be eligible to win a portion of the $10,000, the before and after pictures are required. So what does that before and after picture look like? For you, those of you listening, I want Dr. Jacalyn to describe to you guys what it is she sees so that you can understand. But those of you who can see, what does this transformation look like for 21 days?
Wow. Oh my goodness. That's incredible. So what I'm seeing, and Tasha, I'd love to have you share what you're seeing too. I'm seeing in the before picture, I'm seeing different posture than I'm seeing in the after picture. So in the after picture, I'm seeing someone who they're standing up taller, their shoulders are back. I'm seeing in the before picture, I'm seeing an abdomen, an abdominal area that looks swollen. It looks like that's a burden to carry. And in the after picture, after 21 days, I'm seeing like a completely different person here. So I'm seeing not just the physical changes, but I'm seeing the way that this person is now carrying themselves. Do you see the way the shoulders are back and almost just this confidence that I see in the after photo? What do you see, Tasha?
Well, the first thing I see is in the first picture, she looks exhausted, which I can empathize with the left side. But in the right side, she looks like she feels proud. That's the first thing I noticed. I noticed her face looks slimmer and her stomach, her midsection looks so much less bloated. And she's standing more confident. She looks incredible.
That's incredible. And by the way, just to reiterate, this is 21 days. It's not 2 years, right? It's Coach B.
That is a 21 day. So I'll show another one that's very similar, my friends. Maybe you've seen this one before.
My goodness.
But the difference that we see here with these 21 days, an individual who is smiling bigger than they've ever smiled, probably in many, many years.
Yes.
A body that is completely different. Inflammation that is completely different.
Amazing.
It's incredible.
My friends, what I want to share with our 21-day transformation, we want you to be the healthiest version of yourself. It's important because our health is the most valuable asset that you will ever in your life own. And when we go through certain things that put our health at risk, whatever is going on in our lives, we either one, ignore it, or you have no choice but to focus on it. And what we want to do, my friends, is I want to help with these young ladies, help you be proactive with your health so that you can be that mother, that daughter, that employee, that husband, that best friend. You can be that person who is mentally healthy, physically, emotionally, spiritually, relationally healthy. If you are one of those individuals who are a health and wellness advocate, would you like to partner with us and help us run these challenges so that we can add a little bit of extra financial freedom to your life? We're looking to change the world, my friends, one smile at a time, 1 pound at a time, 1 pant size at a time, and 1 life at a time. Will you join us? Back to you, Dr. Jacalyn, to close us out.
Thank you, thank you, thank you. I just want to share something personal, which I just feel compelled to do at the moment. But growing up, I always was top heavy, to put it in a nice way. And I was made fun of. And people would compare me to Dolly Parton, which, no offense, Dolly, I'm just saying you're out there with celebrity status. Good for you. And I wouldn't stand up straight. I would stand kind of hunched over, so I didn't feel like I looked as large. And it really had an impact on my self-esteem. And I started working out, changed the way that I'm eating. And all of a sudden, I had a completely different perspective about how I looked and felt. But I spent years being embarrassed. When I look at those photos and I can feel that from the before picture, the shame, the embarrassment. Now I'm speaking out of turn because I don't know that they felt that way, but I know when you're not proud of how you look or how you feel, that's one thing. But the other thing is when we think about the behaviors that we have, I just read an article yesterday about 8 things that are aging us. And in no particular order, I know smoking was first, but diet and nutrition was second or third, right up there. Not getting enough sleep, not drinking enough water, not exercising. And what I read was exercise can look like a lot of different things. It could be walking, it could be hiking, it could be going out there and crushing yourselves like Coach B doing constantly. So I just want to let people know that your transformational journey might look different than someone else's, but you're going to have all the support and resources that you need. But we need you to go over to the website and fill out the form. Fill out the form.
Can I also say to everyone, it's okay to put on your mask first. We're supposed to. And having spent a lifetime full of focusing on everyone else, I will admit, it's hard to turn it to yourself and say, okay, it's time to take care of me. But I will tell you that I'm doing this because I want to be a better mom. I want to have more energy. I want to live a long life. I want to be here. I want to be present. And I know that by just focusing on myself, that I'm going to be able to be a better mom, a better business owner, just better because I'm taking a minute to take care of myself. It's okay.
Woohoo! I applaud you for that. Fantastic. Thank you. Thank you. All right, let's go around and any closing comments, any story, anything you want to share as we say adios for this particular episode. I'm going to start with Coach B.
Well, absolutely. For those of you listening, you're probably not going to be able to see this, but what I just shared is what does our 21-day challenge actually include? So these are workouts that's going to be living inside of your app. So you don't have to have a gym membership. No matter where you are in the world, you can leverage this. Our meal plans and grocery lists are also provided within this because we make life easy for you. We're going to ensure that you get that one-on-one personal touch. You're going to have a support chat so that there is a community of growth-minded individuals. And you know, giving away $10,000, that doesn't hurt either. But it has truly been an honor and a privilege to be on the show tonight, my friends. If you want access to us as your coaches, you got to register right meow. That's right. I said meow. You got to register right meow because this thing will be off and running before you know it. And if you wait too long, you're going to get left behind. Coach B, signing off for tonight. Going to turn the mic over to Miss Tasha, and then we'll let Dr. Jacalyn take us out.
Thank you so much, Tasha.
I just want to say thank you both for having me on. I'm so grateful to be here, grateful to share my story and hopefully inspire others to take care of themselves. I am always available. You have my contact information. So if anyone wants to reach out, I am always here to help. I am really excited to start my very first 21-day challenge. It closes May 2nd. It starts May 6th. I am ready to go, guys. And I always say, you've got this.
Thank you so much, Tasha. Rockstar, superstar. I'm so glad that you were here in the house today. I really appreciate you, Coach B. I really appreciate you too. And I think that what the three of us are doing collectively is an inspiration to others, because we each, the three of us here, each have our own issues that we've been dealing with in our lives, and we are moving forward, and you can do the same thing. You just have to go to the website and sign up. That's what I have to share for today. So, Coach B, Tasha, thank you for being here today, and I look forward to connecting with you after the show.
Thanks so much.
Thanks. Bye for now. Well, friends, there you have it. The BEFIT project. Are you with us? Are you part of our community? We'd love to have you. And whatever is coming up for you, reach out to me, reach out to Coach B, reach out to Tasha. We're real people. We'll get back to you if you have any concerns. But what I want to leave you with is this. You are in control of your journey. You can write your own story. I know for years I let other people write it. And I was reading other people's stories and never writing my own. Now I've got 16 books that I've written in the last 2 years because I decided to get out of my comfort zone. And it's not easy. Nothing that's worthwhile is easy. But I promise you, the empowerment that you will feel personally by doing this 21-day transformation will catapult you into other aspects of your life. Other doors are going to open. Windows are going to open. The whole house is going to be filled with wind. You're like, whoa, I don't know what to be doing right now. So take this opportunity to be part of our community. We would love to have you go over to the website, Team Be Extra. I'm putting it up again, teambeextra.com. Thanks again for watching. Thanks again for listening. If you'd like to be a guest on this or any of our other shows, please go to our website, which is usaglobaltv.com. Go to our YouTube channel, USA Global TV and Radio, and subscribe. If you're watching on Roku, I guess you already downloaded our app, right? USA Global TV and Radio, Amazon Fire, USA Global TV and Radio. Thank you so much again for being here. We look forward to seeing you again on a future episode. Bye for now. This program has been brought to you in part by Zane Carson Carruth, etiquette and protocol expert, international award-winning author, television show host, and philanthropist. Thank you to Zane, our official diamond sponsor for USA Global TV and Radio in partnership with E360 TV. Zane is the author of The World's First Tooth Fairy Ever, as well as many other children's books. She's also the television host of Elegance, Polished Demeanor, and Posh Living, seen on USA Global TV and Radio.
Hi, my name is Zane Carson Carruth, and I'm the author of this book, The World's First Tooth Fairy Ever.
Reading is magic. Studies have shown that reading to your children lays the foundation for greater success in life. Reading helps develop language and vocabulary skills. It helps improve memory, and it encourages curiosity and inspires creativity. The benefits are immeasurable, and as a parent, you'll benefit too. In only 10 or 15 minutes a day, you'll be creating more memories and a bonding experience that will last for years to come. So take time to read to your children. Read them books about things that engage and interest them. Tales of fairies and magic fascinate children, and as everyone knows, the Tooth Fairy is at the top of the list. If your child loves magic, wands, adventure, and what child doesn't, you'll love reading them books from the trademarked series The World's First Tooth Fairy Ever. Follow along as Abella, the world's first tooth fairy, accidentally starts the tooth fairy tradition. Learn the tricks of being a professional tooth fairy in the book Abella Starts a Tooth Fairy School. Your child's imagination will soar as you read the adventures of Abella and her magic wand. These wonderful books are available at worldsfirsttoothfairy.com. and at Amazon, Barnes & Noble, and Walmart.
To learn more about Zane, contact her through her website, zanecarruth.com, ZANECARRUTH.com. Order Zane's books and merchandise. Contact her about being a keynote speaker at your next event.